Hi friends! I do think it's time that we discuss eBay's new-ish listing tool and see what we can do about it. So I'm of mixed feelings about it. A lot of negative feelings, but I think there are some pluses, and I think that figuring out a really judicious strategy for the use of templates is going to make it a lot better, but I'm still working on that. I can't quite figure out the best way to do it based on the listing tool's shortcomings, like what will streamline it the most. So maybe you have some ideas and we can start a discussion here. In the meantime, I'm going to just do a listing and talk about its features and pluses and minuses. So I'm going to list this here menu for a dinner on the SS Washington, and we'll see how it goes. So we'll start with start your listing and plop in a tentative title. We'll say SS Washington dinner menu 1951 United States line ocean liner cruise. We'll hit return and see how close we are to 80 characters. Oh, but they've added this handy page in here. Okay, this kind of annoys me because it's an extra step. This stuff used to be either more optional, like it would only try to match it if you were doing something that was clearly a consumer product, like a book or a movie or something. Now it always tries to find a match, which if you sell almost exclusively things that are not in the eBay catalog, is annoying. It adds an extra page to your process. So we could just hit continue without a match, or we can check out what it suggested so far. So we'll see at the category, collectibles, transportation, boats, cruise ships and ocean liners, other cruise ship collectibles. Okay, I think that's probably a decent category, which is good because the new thing to choose a category is super annoying. And add details to sharpen your results. So it doesn't say here whether these are required or not required. I think they are not required. So I might choose to ignore them because I don't think these are very important item specifics. And I'm going to move on. And then let's have another dialog box. For some reason, it wants to ask me in the middle of everything whether it's new or used. Well, it's used. Okay. Now can we do our listing? Yes, but we have to wait a little bit while this page loads. It seems to take a lot longer than the old one. Okay. So the way they've set up the new page probably makes sense in terms of their philosophy of where they're going, which is that the photos and videos are paramount. But I kind of miss having the title on top because I was in the middle of working on that in the last page-ish. And now they're like, now do photos, then look at your title again, which I find a little bit counterintuitive and kind of like harshes my vibe here with the workflow. That's not the expression, is it? Well, anyway, you know what I mean. So I'm going to just go back down to my title that I was working on, and I see it's only 69 of 80 characters, so let's think about what else we can add. It's transatlantic, Atlantic. That doesn't fit. What else can we look at this and see what else we could add? It might be kind of interesting that it was daylight savings. I don't know. Captain Mild, Commander U.S. Naval Reserves. We'll put Mild because I have a friend that's their last name, so maybe she's looking for things. I don't know. Now let's go back to the photos. So I think what's good about this new photo thing is that they've made the target area for drag and drop really big. So you'll see when I go to drop my photos in that this whole thing is the target area, which is nice. And I'd also say that the photos load a lot faster than they did in the old version, like a lot faster, and that's really nice too. That said, there's some stuff about this new photo editor that is a serious bummer. So, okay, first of all, I think these two photos of the cover, I guess this one is better than this one. So we're going to delete that one and work on this one. Now, if we click into it, which I liked it before when you didn't have to open a new dialog box. If you click into it, then you can do a bunch of things. You can use their new take the background out tool, and then you have your familiar sharpen, crop, and brightness, contrast, and rotate tools. So it used to be that you could do multiple steps at once, and you can kind of do that still. So we can go in and crop, and if you hold down shift and pull from the corner, it will constrain it. I didn't think at first that it did, but you can actually constrain to a square, which is good because I like to do that because it shows square thumbnails. It does not, however, pull in both sides towards the middle. It just pulls in the side you're pulling. So you have to then click in again and move this crop tool to where you want it. Okay, not that big a deal. Now, I can also, before I hit save, I can go into my brightness contrast tool and adjust that, and it shows me the crop, and then it lets me further adjust. And this photo is okay. It might need a little more contrast, but I don't want to mess up the color. So that's my little tweak for it. That's pretty accurate color. Now I will say, well, let's save this and then let's talk about the, so I hit save, right? And now I have to hit done. That's an extra click I don't need in my life. All right. Let's talk about the background tool. So let's look at this photo just for fun. And first of all, nice edge of your photo box, Annie. So let's get rid of that. This one I'm less concerned about it being square because it is not appearing as the thumbnail. So I'm going to crop. Let's save to that change. This looks like a pretty good white background. Maybe the white background tool can like do it. I don't know. It's almost universally terrible and never works. Well, let's try it. So we click on that, and then we have to frame our item, and it's pretty framed. So we'll hit continue and see what it does. It takes a while, and it did a pretty good job as far as this tool goes, because it's usually a lot worse than this. It did kind of do a wonky thing with a little bit of a shadow. So, and I don't know if it made it blurrier. It kind of looks like it did, but I'm not sure. So their idea is that you would then go in with the eraser and the paintbrush tool to refine the white background. And what you do there, well, you can try just like erasing some of the stuff. And as soon as you let go of your mouse or trackpad or whatever, it's going to do that spin, spin, spin thing every time. So I'll do that and then spin, spin, spin. So this is going to take forever, especially if it did a worse job, which is usually the case. Also, if you're working on anything that isn't just completely rectilinear like this, it's really hard to select with these big clunky tools. So slip in, spin, spin. All right, this is actually working way better than usual. It was nice of me to choose a example that it works well on. And the concept is, though, I'm not sure, did it cut off the corner here? That looks funny. Let's look at the original. Yeah, look, it cut off the corner, making it look damaged. That's so not cool. Oh yeah, and it did the same thing to the top. How about this one? No, it's okay. That's okay. So it's making it look like my item has 2 chipped corners, which it doesn't. So I'm absolutely not going to use this version, but we'll just theoretically pretend that maybe we were going to and look at it tomorrow. So say I wanted to fix that business, if I happen to notice it, I would probably go into this magnify tool, click, and then you can go up to 350%, and then we can go over here, and then we can use the paintbrush tool to paint back our missing content. And you can't see it, you just see a black line, and then it spins, and then you see it. And let's try to get some more back. This is actually doing far better of a job than usual, though I'm unhappy with this, like, making it look damaged thing. That's not very cool. Let's see if... And also, like, look how long this is taking. This is ridiculous. Like, this is not... You can't add this kind of fussing to your workflow. But, So it still looks kind of funny. I don't know. I think there's more. But see, you can't really see what it cut out. Like, it doesn't have an overlay. So basically, you have to keep going until you get more than you need. And then you can erase it. Or maybe you just happen to come close enough. So it looks like we got some stuff missing over here still. And all right, that's good. So if I were a perfectionist, which I am, but not right now, I would go in and erase that with the eraser tool. And really, I need to, like, fix all this as well if I wanted it to look really, perfect, which I don't, and I don't care at the moment, but this is the process. So, like, kudos for, look, it cut off the corner again. Kudos for them for trying to add this feature to desktop. Implementation, not so great. And we can't just, like, use the trackpad to zoom in or anything. We have to go back to this tool and then go back here to 100%, and then you can see how it looks. It's not even that good. And then this is, I think, undo. Like, when you're in the image tool, this becomes undo. It's not rotate anymore. Rotate is over here and has a little square with it too. So I'm not too impressed with that iconography, but so we do, I don't even think it's undo. I'm not really sure. I think it's like go back out to the main menu or something. It's really strange. So, like, we click edit photo, we go in here, and then we get this tool, and what does it do? Yeah, it takes us back out. So that's just cancel. Is it the same essentially as the cancel button? Sort of, yeah. Oh no, so cancel totally undoes the whole thing. Whereas using that makes you go back out without saving it. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not really sure how that works. So, like, thumbs down on the iconography of how that whole thing works. And also thumbs down on how bad it is with details and how it can mess you up by cutting off corners. I've seen that before, that you're not going to notice, and then your buyers are going to think that it is less perfect than it is. So we're not going to use that tool. If I really wanted to, I could go in and adjust the brightness and contrast on this image, but it's actually fine how it is. So we're going to just click done. And this is really fine, but I'm going to just crop it a little because we're here and it looks bad. And honestly, I should have probably erased this number in pencil on the back, but I didn't. But that would have been, a good thing to do. All right, so we have our photos. Obviously, it wouldn't take this long in real life, but this isn't real life. And I see they've also added features where you can import from mobile and import from the web. The import from web is interesting. I can maybe see some utility to that, though. Since they've made the upload faster, I'm kind of okay with just importing from my computer. But an import from mobile, I think this is probably useful if you don't use something like iCloud to keep your photos synced between your phone and your desktop, or if you list on your phone, that's a whole different story. I actually haven't tried this, so let's see what it does. Check your mobile device. Only photos formats can be. A notification has been sent. Okay. So we're gonna not go through that right now, but I guess there's conceivably some utility for that depending on your workflow. We have our pictures. I am not doing a video. We have our title. We're not doing a subtitle. Item category is thankfully correct from that other step. Store category is not, so we will go in and change it here. Unfortunately, if you need to change the item category, they don't have that breadcrumbed drill down menu they used to have, which was a really fast and helpful way to do it, because you could figure out what subcategory you needed while you're seeing the whole trail. Whereas here, you have to actually kind of know. So let's see, I think this is a collectible and I think it's, I don't know what it's under. Paper, ephemera, date. Maybe that's different than what we got here. Let's see. So we could do this category, but that's not maybe the best one. I don't know. Like, we should probably do this cruise ship one. And I just find the whole thing, like, you have to guess more with the drill down situation, and it's super annoying. There's sort of a search, but it's just not as effective as the old search versus navigation category selection thing they used to have. So anyway, moving on. Item specific. So this apparently doesn't have any required ones, which is great because this item specific choosing rigmarole is just no fun at all. It seems like if you have it selected, something selected, it has a black line around it. Unless it's a fill-in field, in which case it has a black line around it, but it's not a selection. So again, not very good UX, I think. But so we'll choose, it's not a modified item. See, now we get this black line and also an arrow to allow us to clear it and choose something different. But say this had a required item specific thing and we just saw no here, like in the same way we see unknown here, and it didn't have the black line, it wouldn't be selected. And you would never know that. And then it's going to give you an error when you go to list it and you're going to have to go back. So thumbs down on that indication of whether or not something's selected. Also, in the ones that have lots of item specifics, say like in the jewelry categories and stuff, it's just super, oh dear, I think something just fell off the washing machine. It's super cumbersome to like click into those, and it like loads, and it generally makes the page skip around. So you'll click to load something here, and then it's like loading, and it puts you down here, and then you're like, did it load? What's happening? I don't know. And it's just a really bad user experience. So I do not like this whole item specific and required item specific workflow. It's super annoying. So I guess we don't have to choose these, but while we're here, we'll do that. And it makes them go away. And once you're accustomed to seeing what it's supposed to look like when you've successfully completed it, you'll see that it's cleaner and sort of looks like you've done your work there, but it's really not intuitive. All right, condition used, and I'll just use our handy type expanding tool to put that in. Yeah, so this part's generally fine, except when it makes you click in and deal with it again. It's just, the drop down was so much nicer than having to go to another dialogue. And then we'll just say vintage cruise ship menu, thanks. Yeah, I'm good with those descriptions, huh? I haven't explored the stuff. I think you generally don't need to use it, so we'll just ignore it. And then price, we're good. $19.99. I have chosen allow offers previously, so I guess it's remembering that, but this is kind of, I feel like this is not obvious enough, and it's not like a pull down would be better. And again, with a scheduled time, I mean, I guess it's okay. Now, it does not seem to, I can't find the rhyme or reason for what's sticky in the delivery section. Like, it knows I want to ship this first class for some reason. I don't know why it has decided that. That's the shipping policy, that is. But it doesn't have package details. And for all of these sections, it seems like you can either click this little M dash that's underlined, like as if you're like, oh, I'm supposed to click this. Or you can click edit all options, which gives you everything in the section. And then you can click the M dash, whatever. So we'll just fill this in, and it's gonna be 9 by 12 by 1, and click done. Now this is where templates are gonna come in, because that's, again, annoying. And I just can't quite figure out if you should template things by how they're packaged, or by the category, or by the category and how they're packaged, or what's going to be the most useful and what's going to lead to the most successful sell similar once I'm done listing this and actually have the most things filled out correctly. This is complicated by the fact that I do believe you can only have 25 templates. I could be wrong, but I did read that somewhere, and it frightens me, because I feel like you need a lot more to use the system effectively. And I feel like you might even need folders of templates to use the system effectively. But I'm still working on that. So then we get all this give eBay money stuff section, which we're going to ignore. It seems to have remembered, for whatever reason, what my payment and returns options are. I feel like it usually does, but sometimes it doesn't. We have our charity thing we're not going to do for this, and we can list. And then, it spins, and this actually worked, so bravo. I mean, we didn't make any mistakes. That's good. I think initially they did not have the stuff correct in here, but they fixed it. And so we can now create something totally new. We can sell similar. We can view the listing, which is what you would want to do if you want to make a quick revision right away. It used to be that this was a link and you could click into it to see it and make a revision if you needed to, but now you view listing. And then there's share listing, which I haven't tried this. What does that do? Oh, yes. Yeah, that's not going to happen, but it's charming. Thank you, eBay. And so we're just going to hit done. And then, you know, it spins some more and all that. So here's our listing. It's fine, but I'm just not into this new workflow. It doesn't have, although it does load photos faster, it seems to load everything else slower, especially the item specifics and anything you have to edit. And it really depends on creating your templates. And otherwise you have to click, which is probably fine if you're used to working on the phone. And I think that's why they've done it. I think this is a mobile optimized workflow, and it's for people who are used to mobile to also use desktop. For people who are used to desktop, it's ridiculous. It's really arduous compared to using drop downs and being able to tab through things quickly and not have to go to separate dialog boxes for everything and having everything stay on the same page. But I guess we have to change with the world, and also maybe just bulk list more stuff using spreadsheets. I don't know. So tell me what you think about the new listing tool. I don't feel like I've really done justice to showing the things that really bug me, because they pop up at unexpected times, which is one of the reasons why it's so annoying. Is like you think you're just cruising along and then all of a sudden eBay pops up some dialogue box you have to deal with and required item specifics that just don't behave how you want them to, or you have to like figure something out with the categories that you just never had to before. So, but I hope you get the idea. But let me know what you think about it and how you're using templates, what your thoughts are on that, and if you think I'm just being really whiny and I should get over it. So let me know your thoughts. Please subscribe and set the bell notification if you want to know when I'm posting new videos. And thank you and take care.